Hello everyone, my name is Priyanka Sinnarkar and today we are going to explore what is franchise tax and how to file franchise taxes for C corporations in the United States. A franchise tax is a type of a tax that is levied by each state upon the businesses that are incorporated within the state jurisdictions. As we all know that all the corporations in the United States are registered in the state registry and not in the national registry. That is why each of the state is empowered to collect a privilege tax for maintenance of these corporations. This tax that each of the state levies upon corporations, which is different than a sales tax or which is different than a corporate income tax, is called as a franchise tax, solely collected for maintaining the status of the corporation in the state registry. So basically, a franchise tax has to be filed annually, and a C corporation will also have to file estimated taxes with respect to their franchise fees. The estimated tax provisions are present in certain states and they are not present in certain states. Some states will only ask you to pay franchise tax at the end of every year, that is in December. Whereas certain states also give you the option that if your tax amount exceeds a specific amount, then you can also pay estimated taxes in three quarterly installments. Okay. Now, who can do this work? Do you need to be a CPA? Do you need to be an enrolled agent to file a franchise taxes on behalf of C corporations? Absolutely not. If you are a commerce student, if you are a CA in India, any person from an accounting or finance background in India can easily do this work. The reason is that the entire process is online and you do not require any attestation for filing franchise taxes. In today's session, I'm going to show you how to file franchise taxes for the state of Delaware. It is a very simple process and I'm going to guide you since the beginning. So let us open your Google search engines and you can also follow this process along with me. Franchise taxes are collected either by the Franchise Tax Board or the Revenue Department of each state. The Delaware government calls it the Revenue Division. So here I'm going to type Delaware Revenue Department. The first link that appears on your Google search with the suffix .gov is the official website which will enable you to file franchise tax. Once you click on it, the simplest step is to go on file because you want to file them, right? Okay. So here you can see that there is a short list on filing the Delaware business taxes. Where we have to go is pay franchise tax from Division of Corporations. Once you click on this link, you will get all the information with respect to filing your annual report and payment of your business tax. Now, the requirement for making your payment is that you should have a bank identification number, which should be a checking account and a credit card. You can fill the entire form, save and exit the form, and then your client can make the payment. Franchise taxes have to be paid from a US account only. That is why you can fill the entire form and the client can make the payment towards the end. Now, I will show you how to actually do the filing. So let us click on pay taxes and file annual report to proceed. You don't have to create a login ID for payment of franchise taxes. All you require is a file number. That is your entity file number. Your entity file number is usually indicated on the incorporation certificate that you receive at the time of incorporation from the Secretary of State. Secretary of State is the state registry. You can either ask your client for the entity file number or you can also search for your file number using the business search provision mentioned here. Today, I'm going to pick a random company, a random corporation and show you how to file them, how to file the franchise taxes for a corporation. I'm going to choose the name Amazon. I'm going to search for the file number of Amazon. Okay. So again, enter this Amazon. and search. So here you can see there is a long list of corporations and LLCs with the name Amazon. And the file names are mentioned, right? I'm going to pick a random company. So let us say Amazon AeroCorp. I'm going to copy the file number here just to show you the process. Okay, I'm going to copy this, Command C, and paste the file number right here. Enter the CAPTCHA and continue. So here you can see for the year 2023, you have to file the annual report, right? So just click on this. Now, the information that you have to fill in order to pay your franchise tax is very simple. Okay. So here you have to enter your federal employer ID. Your federal employer ID is basically your EIN. You can get the EIN by registering with the IRS for the EIN. That is another process that we will teach you in our other sessions. You can see all the details of the company right here. You just have to enter your federal employer ID. Okay. Now, here it asks you for your stock information. Right now, I'm going to keep this information as it is, that they have 10 shares, common stock, par value is 0. Basically, this is auto generated, this information with respect to stock. It is taken from the previous annual report. You have to enter when your fiscal year ends. Now, this corporation hasn't chosen another fiscal year. They haven't customized their fiscal year. In the United States, the fiscal year is the Christian calendar year. Okay. Date of inactivity, if the company has been inactive for a specific period. Since this company hasn't been inactive for any period, we'll leave it blank. You have to enter the principal place of business, and you should not enter the address of the registered agent. So here you can see the address of the registered agent is given here. However, the principal place of business can be something else. It can also be a non-US address. Consider that your client, which is a C corporation, is doing business from India. So basically, maybe they have a manufacturing unit in India. They are doing their entire business from India, but it is a Delaware corporation. In that case, you can also click on it's a non-US address and just enter any address. Right now, I'm going to put a random address. Okay. And here, if the corporation has no officers, check here. We have to enter the number of directors. I'm just going to put one director here because I don't know the information with respect to this particular company. If you are doing this work, you will also require authorization because you will be an authorized person filling this form. Authorization can be gained in the form of an email, can be gained in the form of an authority letter from your client stating that I authorize this person, Priyanka Sindarkar, to file the franchise taxes and annual report for the state of Delaware for my C corporation with the name, with the registered office and file number. Okay. So that's a simple authorization. Now, the first name here that you will put will be your own name. So here I'm putting my own name, Priyanka Sinarkar. My title is Miss. And again, I'm entering a non-US address because I'm not a resident of the United States. So I'm just putting my Indian address right here and I'm going to continue filing. Okay. I'm just going to type a random name again. And again, a non US address because directors can be from a non US country. So you have to click on terms and conditions and continue filing. So this will take you to the next page. Now, in this next page, you just have to review all the information that is given here and proceed to payment. Once you proceed to payment, you can also fill up all the information with respect to your payment. In this case, the client can make a payment to you and you can make the payment on the client's behalf directly. Okay. A lot of our students have done this, but if you have trust issues with respect to the client, if the client has trust issues with you, you can fill up all the information from the client, save this session and exit. The client can log back in and make the payment towards each state has separate franchise tax rates. For example, the state of Delaware uses the number of issued shares for calculating franchise tax. Another method is the assumed par capital method, whereby the ratio of the company's assets and total capital is used for calculation of the franchise tax. Franchise taxes do come with a minimum threshold. For the state of Delaware, it is minimum of $175. Delaware also has an upper cap amounting to $200,000. Then, apart from the entire fee that is mentioned here, so that is 175 for this particular client, there will be an additional charge of $50, which is the filing fee. Okay. And that's it. So this is the end of this form. Easy, right? Any Indian person from an accounting or commerce background can do this very easily. Now you can tell me which is another form that you want to learn, and I will definitely consider to teach it in your upcoming classes. Thank you.